Black people love Trump. Where's the
like Nicki Minaj?
Oh, girl.
I mean, listen, man. She's something is. She made a deal. She must be getting somebody out of jail.
Her brother.
It has to be that.
Or her
There's
husband.
no.
Her husband's not locked up, but they're saying that
She sounds insane.
There was a moment when criticizing Nicki Minaj felt almost forbidden, not because she was flawless, but because her dominance made opposition irrelevant. She had the buzz, the hits, the influence, and a fan base willing to defend her every single move.
Someone retweeted it named Onika's Majesty or something like that, saying, Barbs, you know what to do. After that, the floodgates opened.
When my fans and I first started interacting on Twitter, I used to tell them, do not drag people. I used to unfollow them if they dragged people and if they were mean to people. However, it's but so much my fans can take. It's like if you fuck with somebody and you keep on seeing people lying on them and hurting them and not giving them their props, you would be mad too. And my fan base is not like a fan base. We like family. I always say that.
But influence does not disappear when music stops charting. It disappears when the culture stops listening. And lately, the conversation around Nicki Minaj hasn't been about her work. It's been about her conflicts, her alliances, and her growing distance from the audience that once made her untouchable. This is a story about how power changes and what happens when an artist does not change with it. At her peak, Nicki Minaj didn't just succeed in rap. She collapsed the wall between female rap and mainstream pop in a way that hasn't been done before. Before Nicki, women in rap were often forced into one of two boxes. Either respected lyricists with limited mainstream reach, such as the likes of MC Lyte, Roxanne Shante, Bahamadia, Jean Grey, and Lauryn Hill. Or they were pop-leaning artists whose rap credibility was constantly questioned, such as the likes of Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, Eve, The Bratz, and Trina. Nicki refused both. She could deliver aggressive, technical verses on tracks like Monster, a verse so dominant it overshadowed established male rappers, and then turn around and dominate pop radio with Super Bass, a song that crossed over globally without stripping away her rap identity. That was important as Super Bass wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural reset. It became one of the highest selling singles by a female rapper at the time. Pushing Nicki into spaces where female rappers were rarely centered: pop radio, award show, main stages, and global charts. She followed that with Anaconda, Bang Bang, and Starships, records that didn't treat pop success as a side quest but as equal ground. At the same time, she kept her credibility intact by appearing on rap-heavy collaborations, delivering standout features, and maintaining lyrical dominance in spaces that historically sidelined women. The result? Nicki Minaj became the first female rapper to have 7 songs simultaneously on the Billboard Hot 100 and over 100 entries on Billboard Hot 100, a record she held for years. Become one of the most featured artists in Billboard history, achieve multiple #1 albums while still being treated as a rapper first, not a pop act. She didn't just dominate her era, she also set the blueprint for what came after her. Artists like Cardi B, Doja Cat, Megan Thee Stallion, and others now move fluidly between rap and pop because Nicki proved it could be done without losing dominance. During this era, Nicki wasn't chasing relevance. She was the standard everyone else was measured against, and that's what made her power feel permanent. But here's the thing about cultural dominance. It doesn't end with the collapse, it ends with a shift in expectations. When Nicki Minaj reached her peak, she wasn't just winning, she was being relied on. The culture didn't just admire her anymore, it expected her to lead. And that's where the pressure quietly changed. Every release wasn't judged on its own merit, it was judged against her legacy. Every new female rapper wasn't just competition. They were framed either as her sons or her challenges. Instead of allowing the throne to expand, Nicki started defending it. Praise stopped being appreciation and started feeling like approval that could be taken away. The neutrality felt like disrespect. This wasn't arrogance, it was fear of vanishing. Because once you've been the benchmark for a decade, being one of many feels like disappearance. So the response wasn't retreat, it was confrontation. Hip-hop was changing. Streaming was reshaping relevance. New artists were rising without industry permission. And audiences were no longer loyal to singular figures. They were loyal to moments. This was the window where reinvention could have happened quietly. Instead, Nicki stayed visible, loudly. Not always through music, but through reaction and public callouts. And this is where the fracture begins. Not because she lost talent, but because she stopped letting the culture move without her approval. By the mid-2010s, conflict had become a recurring part of Nicki Minaj's public story. It didn't begin all at once. It accumulated. Early on, tensions with Lil' Kim centered around legacy and originality. Comparisons Nicki rejected, but also publicly responded to, framing herself as a rightful successor rather than a peer. With Mariah Carey, disagreement during American Idol turned into hostility, showing how professional differences could quickly become personal when aired publicly.
$2,014,000 songs. Oh no! So you must think that I agree with Nicki
and you agree with
the entire panel in saying again back to the Billboard Hot 100 #1 song which you just performed, which is difficult to get. Not everybody has that. To their credit, to your credit, you did a great job. So keep on singing, and next time those top notes will be just as clear.
With Remy Ma, lyrical criticism was met with direct response, escalating into a public rap feud that pulled attention away from music and toward confrontation. As a new generation emerged, the pattern repeated. With Cardi B, competition over position and recognition turned into prolonged tension, intensified by interviews, social media commentary, and moments that framed success as zero-sum. Later conflicts reflected a shift in tone, With Megan Thee Stallion, indirect lyrics and online reactions were read as deeply personal, triggering backlash that Nicki answered defensively rather than reflectively.
Because you have 3 Grammys and you have to learn how to rap on the beat and being comfortable in the music. The fuck? No!
And then with Lado, disagreement over perceived subliminals became another example of how quickly friction surfaced when respect felt questioned. Even outside direct rap rivalries, moments of tensions appeared. What mattered wasn't any single feud, it was the repetition. Conflict stopped being situational and became expected, until eventually, Nicki Minaj wasn't just discussed as a dominant artist, but as a central figure in constant confrontation. At that point, feuds stopped being moments, they became an identity. Nicki Minaj's relationship with her fans was never passive. From the very beginning, Bobs were not just listeners, they were participants.
I love being a Barb because I feel like our fan group is like the best, and I feel like we're so connected to each other.
We're like one big army that work together with the best tactics possible to keep Nicki at the top.
I love Nicki Minaj, and of course the other Bobs too, as they look out for each other and they love each other.
We aren't just Nicki Minaj fans, we are Nicki Minaj stans. Everything we do because of Nicki Minaj.
A significant portion of that audience came from the LGBTQIA+ community, particularly Black people, queer people, drag culture, and performance spaces. This wasn't accidental. Nicki's early career leaned heavily into exaggerated personas, theatrical performances, unapologetic femininity, playful defiance of gender expectations. Songs like Super Bass, Starships, Pound the Alarm, and Anaconda didn't just chart, they became safe spaces anthems in queer clubs and pride spaces. For many Bobs, Nicki didn't just feel entertaining, she felt aligned. Here's the part that often gets misunderstood. LGBTQIA+ communities don't just support artists for visibility, they support them for values, empathy, representation, and shared struggles. Nicki was seen as an outsider who won. A woman who refused respectability politics. Someone who took up space without apology. That's why the connection ran deep. But when the fans invest emotionally, they also notice when something changes. Over time, parts of Nicki's LGBTQIA+ audience began expressing discomfort, not over her music, but over what she chose to defend and align with publicly. Moments that caused friction included doubling down on controversial positions rather than acknowledging the harm, dismissing criticism from within her own fan base, and most notably her public appearance at and support for a conservative-leaning rally and figures associated with it, which stood in stark contrast to the values many of her fans hold. For a fan base that is disproportionately impacted by conservative policy, historically marginalized, and deeply aware of political consequences, this wasn't read as difference of opinion. It was rather received as disconnection. Make no mistake, Nicki Minaj still has remarkable technical ability. Her early rap delivery, her wordplay, her flow curves, these are not disappearing traits. But talent doesn't control culture, perception does. And when your narrative is dominated by feuds, fatigue, value misalignment, and fandom fragmentation, you are no longer a cultural priority, you're a cultural subject. This isn't about hate. This is not about cancel culture. This is about the evolution of influence. Artists rise, audiences shift, values change. Nicki Minaj's story is not a fall from talent, but a fall from cultural centrality, because the world she commanded is no longer the same world.